Hello, welcome back. I'm Jonathan Farley. This is my essential guide for the modern man. Now, when I do an ironing video, I am very often accused of ironing shirts that don't really need ironing. This is what my shirts look like pre-ironing. As you can see, there is a crease to it. They are a bit crumpled, but not all scrumpled up like they've been in the bottom of a sports bag. How do I get that? That's the question I think you should be asking, is why do your shirts look so good before they are ironed? So very briefly today, I'm going to tell you what the process is for getting your shirts to look like that before you start ironing. So the first thing is, if you have shirts with collar stays, with removable collar stays, obviously you have to take those out or they get trapped in your filter of your washing machine. Second thing is wash at 30 degrees. If you boil wash shirts, you're more likely to shrink them, and they shouldn't. With a pure cotton shirt, you should be able to just wash it at 30 with a decent detergent. Make sure it goes on the spin cycle and that you take it out of the washing machine when it has finished its spin cycle. Then get your wooden coat hanger and hang each shirt to dry on the coat hanger, on the back of a door, on a clothes horse, on a hat stand, doesn't matter, hang it up to dry. That is doing half the work for you. When you hang your shirt to dry when it's already damp and you hang it, you're letting gravity do half of the work. That is dragging out the creases as it's drying. So that's the tip. It's got nothing to do with the type of shirt it is. Pure cotton doesn't typically stay wrinkle free unless you use this technique. So it's now dry, but when I dry it, and yes, people say, hang on, you're using a steam iron. Why do you wet your shirts if you're using a steam iron? Because I always do, because I find it easier to iron a shirt if it is slightly damp. So if you're getting it at that point in the drying cycle when it's still drying and is still a little bit damp, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, when it's bone dry, you might need to give it a little help along the way. Steam generator iron, lots of steam. Start with the point of the collar and move to the center. The same on the other side. Now, it's up to you whether you do both inside and outside of the collar. That's personal preference. I think it's a little bit of duplication of work, personally. But again, everybody, literally everybody watching this will have a different, or will have seen a different technique for ironing shirts. Next, I'm going to do a sleeve. You locate the seam underneath the sleeve, go from the armpit down to the cuff, flatten it out with your hands, loads of steam, armpit, shoulder, and then down to the cuff. And yes, I iron a crease in the top of my sleeve. I don't care if you don't. It's a personal preference. I do. You don't have to. But don't tell me what's right and what's wrong. That's just the way I do it. It's a military style. It's the way my grandma taught me to do it. So if you have a problem with my sleeve creases, then go and speak to my grandma. I'm sure she would be, well, she died a long time ago, but I'm sure she'll handle your complaints in the same way as anybody who's been through the Second World War would handle anything. Then we're going to go to the front left panel with the buttonholes on. Again, loads of steam. Start from the bottom edge all the way up the button rail and out to the shoulder. Down. And I'm doing the steam all the time that it's running, all the time that the iron's in contact with the fabric. I'm using loads of steam. Completely forgotten to do the yoke. spending too much time talking to you. Yoke over the edge of the ironing board. Now, loads of people comment, you're using the wrong end of the ironing board. You should use the square end of the ironing board to do the shoulders. Have a look at the square end of my ironing board. You can't do anything with that because the iron stand is on that end. So no, I can't use that end of the ironing board to do the shoulders. Honestly, you try and help people and all you get is abuse. Flatten the back down. Now, as you will see, this shirt has darts in the back and they make a ridge or a bump in the back. Just iron the shirt as though the darts weren't there, and they basically are there for fitting purposes to make the shirt more tailored. If you want to know anything about these shirts, my day job, if you like, is as a tailor and shirt maker, and these are my shirts, my company's shirts. So if you want to get made to measure shirts, only in the UK. I tried to do the whole international thing, but it didn't really work. It was a bit of a disaster, if I'm honest. So yes, just the UK. If you're based in Scotland, then we can meet up in person. If you're anywhere else, then we do it through a Zoom call. And basically, we get your measurements, design your shirt on the website. We have a 3D configurator so you can see what the shirt looks like before you buy it. We would have a helper at your end to measure you with my guidance, and that's basically it. Once your account's set up, you can then reorder on the website, same as you would any other product. Anyway, so that's now an iron shirt, and yes, it was in a pretty good state to start with, but that's part of the technique. The less creased, the less crumpled, the less wrinkled your shirt is to begin with, the easier it's going to be to iron the rest of the wrinkles out. So the shirts most of them are 100% cotton. Some of them have a little bit of elastane in. Our performance range have a little bit of like 8% elastane. So there's a bit of stretch to the fabric. The 100% cotton shirts they have an easy iron finish, which is where the fabric is treated as part of the manufacturing process, and as the name suggests, makes them easier to iron. It's basically treated with a preservative that makes the fabric more crease resistant. Anyway, so that's how to iron them. Easy as that. The easy iron finish isn't just a marketing gimmick. They are actually easier to iron than a standard cotton shirt, and it also helps the shirt to last longer as well, because the fibres don't get as brittle as a normal cotton shirt. Anyway, if you have any questions about made-to-measure shirts, about tailoring in general, or about ironing, I'm going to put links to. Everyone always asks me, what's the iron that you use? Now, this is a Russell Hobbs 24420. It's now been superseded by a newer model and a slightly cheaper model. So I'm going to put a link to the newer model in the description so that you can check that out, check out the reviews. It's well under £100 and is a great value iron, steam generator. So just check it out. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time. Take care. See you soon.